Good morning, people. It's El Sixo Del Mayo. So me and the wife were attacked by the Mexican food and tequila monster yesterday. And now we recuperate. No, it wasn't too bad. That's not why you're here, though. This video is going to be about how do you build a mag? How do you build a tribe? How do you whatever? I've gotten that question a lot here lately because we have a lot of new people. I've done a lot of videos. Just go back channel, start watching about MAG's Mutual Assistance Group. What is a MAG? It's a mutual assistance group. What's that? It's a group of people that mutually assist each other. And tribe. I shouldn't have to tell you what a tribe is. And so forth and so on, right? I've hit this topic at least 50 times on this channel. But I'm going to try and be as poignant as possible on this subject and strive for informational density. And hopefully answer some of y'all's questions. I believe it was Napoleon that said, "Give me 1,000 men and I will take the world. 1,000 good men." I understand that sentiment. I think a lot of that's bravado, but I understand that sentiment. I have often felt the same way. Here's the thing, though, the key difference between Napoleon and I, other than the fact that I'm not a short Frenchman. I know he was actually 5'7", which was tall for the day. Yeah, my 11-year-old is 5'7", so... And if she's anything like her grandmother, she'll be 6'1" or 6'2" when she gets done, which would be cool because her grandma's cool. Hi, Dawn. I know you're here, lurking in the shadows of this channel, which is cool. Happy to have you. Napoleon wanted to take the world. I want the world to leave me the hell alone. I'm not interested in taking the world. What I'm interested in is taking care of this beautiful piece of land that God has provided for us. That's what I want. I could care less about the world. So, you need 1,000 good men. And by men, I mean men and women. It's no longer Napoleon's era either. I do believe that there are certain things that men excel at and certain things that women excel at. And if there weren't distinct differences between the sexes, God would not have made us man and woman. We'd just all be androgynous, which, I don't know, would suck. Or would it? I don't know. It's not what I would want. I kind of enjoy the difference between men and women. But anyway, you need people, right? That's the core of this discussion is you need people. You need good people, and you need to be good people. Well, how does that happen? Look at that. Look at that field, just awash in morning sunlight. Gorgeous. Well, we can argue whether or not strong spirituality is required to have strong morals and ethics. And there are lots of us that would say that yes, you must have one to have the other. And there's lots of us that would say no, the two are can be mutually exclusive. Okay. I know that for my tribe, it's very important here that we all believe more or less the same, right? Within reason. not everybody in my own family believes the same way that I believe. I mean, extended family. Nuclear family, yes, but extended family, no. But, oh, good morning, Bun Bun. Y'all see him? Right there, see that little patch of light? There's a rabbit over there. Rabbits have the worst self-defense mechanism. They just stand completely still, look at you with one eye, and scream in their brains, "You can't see me, you can't see me, you can't see me." See him? Little fur ball. Right in this region. Anyway. Thou shalt not eat things that go forth on paws. Even though if you stew one of them up and turn it into rabbits and dumplings, it's really good tasting. Anyway. So your people need to be of one accord, right? And by one accord, I mean, I really feel like when the world's ending, might not be the best time to have strong disagreements in key areas of your lives. Okay? You could also make the argument that if the world is ending, does it really matter if I think the Sabbath should be Saturday and you think the Sabbath should be Sunday? Does that really matter? You might have more important things. I would say in the short term, no. That's a disagreement that we can table for right now because we got to get this planting in and we got to get this canning done and we need to go hunt for food and whatever, right? But I would say in the long term, yes, it does matter. It does matter because division in the camp can kill you. Boy, it is bright over here. Thank you, God. Look, another Bun Bun. You probably can't even see him because of the sun. Well, there's another rabbit over there. Suffice it to say. Run, boy, run. There you go. It's a good sized little cottontail, about a 2-pound rabbit. Dress out to about a pound of meat. Had to keep somebody fed. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by how gorgeous it is out here this morning, and I don't want to have to do, this is take number 2 of this video, by the way. I don't want to do number 3, so back to informational density. Y'all should be of one accord. That's a bunch of people working toward a common goal, right? Define that goal. Now, I've had a lot of people ask, how do I find a group? And how did I find my group? There's a couple answers to that. Or it's a 2-pronged answer. How's that? Number 1 is, God put people in my life. And put a conviction in my heart that I am to be responsible for these people to some degree. Not 100%, but in part, they are my responsibility. That was the first part. The second part was, I could not find a group to join. There's not... It's much easier to find a competitive cheer team for 3rd graders in North Texas than it is to find a preparedness group. And that, if that doesn't tell you where people's priorities are, I don't know a better way to state it. Okay? There's not that many people who are interested in preparedness, although I would submit that those numbers are growing. And those that are into preparedness, we're just going to hit this now. I think most of y'all are too concerned with OPSEC. Yes, it is important. No, it's not so important that you stay inside your little bubble and never meet anybody else and then cry about not having a team. Okay? I was just reading Ecclesiastes this morning. What part, T? All of it. It's not that long. It's like 6 pages. And vanities. It's all vanity. Everything under the sun is vanity. What good does it profit a man, right? He stores up all of his goods just to look at them. Yeah, that's in there. Go read it. He stores up all of his goods just so that he can look upon them. That's y'all. That was me. Who are you prepping for? If it's just you and your husband, or you and your wife, and you have 9,200 pounds of food, number one, good job. Number two, where are your people? Where is your tribe? Where's your 1,000 men? Right? What good does it profit a man? What good is that going to do you? Now, yes, I know we can go the other direction with that. Talk about the story of Joseph, 7 years of fat, 7 years of lean, which is, also informs my preparedness philosophy. But Joseph didn't store up all that grain and then keep it to himself and look at it so that he could get a survival boner looking at all of his grain. You know what I mean? And allow me that, please. I try not to engage in soldier talk very much on this channel, but it's gonna happen. And I try and police myself as best I can, but it's gonna happen. So, all right, he didn't store up all that stuff for him. In fact, he used that to feed people that by all rights he should have said, screw you, get out of here. And yet he didn't. So, you have food. I'm rambling. I'm finding it really hard to put fine points on this. So, we'll see what happens with this video. Like I said, I really don't want to do a third take. You're having a hard time meeting people, right? Form a group. I said there was a two-pronged answer to this. God put people in my life and then convicted me to help them. And that was the first part. The second part was because I couldn't find a group, I made one. And a lot of these people I've brought along kicking and screaming. 10% of the people do 90% of the work. I have a video on this channel called I'm Coming to Your House. And the concept behind I'm Coming to Your House is those people in your life, these people in this group that say, when the world ends, I'm just coming to your house, man. You got it all squared away. Okay. Well, the discussion there is, I love you, brother. I do. But I'm not going to take a morsel of food out of my kid's mouth to put into yours because you did not you did not do what I asked you to do, which was put up food. If you put up food, I got you in the rest of it. But I'm not going to watch my kids starve because you failed to take this situation seriously. I've had this own conversation with my own mother, with my mom. I love you, Mom, but my kids will not go hungry because you didn't do your part. So that's the first barrier to entry here is get some food. If you're going to come here, get some food, right? So 90-10, right? 90% of the people don't care, or they care this much. They got other things going on. Life is busy. They're in the world, not just of the world, but they are in the world. I'm sorry, I said that backward. They are of the world, right? They're not just here in the world trying to get out of it. They are fully engaged of being of the world. I have so many thoughts on this that trying to wrangle all of these thoughts into some kind of cohesive sentence and make it make it coherent without dropping into soldier speak and yelling and ranting is surprisingly difficult for me. But I had to make a group. I had to make a group because I couldn't find one. And then those people that God convicted me to take care of, I had to drag them along. And the ones that say they're coming to my house, I've moved. Right? I'm not on a piece of land in Oklahoma by the will and the blessing of the Father. After 3 years of strong prayer and 3 years of looking and getting excited and getting heartbroken, here I am. Nothing short of a miracle, nothing more and nothing less than the hand of God on this place. And I know it. And everybody that comes here knows it, because all they have to do is look around and they go, wow. Yeah, wow. So if he can do that for a broken heathen like me, just imagine what he can do for you. Getting back to that of one accord, the last 5 lines in the book of Ecclesiastes, he sums up the entire book. How do you live a good life? Love the Lord your God and keep his commandments. Yeah, it's in there. Go read it. Right? Of which I'm not the best. I need to get real serious about the Sabbath day. Observe the Sabbath, keep it holy, sanctified, set apart. I need to get better at that, and I feel that conviction enough that it chokes me up just thinking about it. I feel that conviction. So, of one accord, right? Are y'all all convicted together, or are you all convicted differently in different directions? I had to make a group. I had to make a group because if I made a group and I got 100 people in that group, I knew that I could find 10 people out of that 100 that would be serious. Since I've come to Oklahoma, I can count on one hand the number of members of the North Texas group that have come up here. And I don't love the vast majority of the members of that group any less, because they're busy with their life in Texas. I don't begrudge them that. We hug each other, right? That's probably the best way to sum up how this group operates, is we hug each other. I'm a big fella, covered in tattoos from my heathen days, with enough grip strength to break your hands when I shake them if I wanted to. And I hug these people because I love them, even though they're caught up in the world. Because if I can drag them out to this, I will. So I had to make a group, and nothing worth doing is easy. It's taken a lot of time. It's taken a lot of energy and stress. There have been many a times my wife has just looked at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing? And when I started doing this, I was into preparedness before me and my wife were together. Because I've seen what happens in war zones. I've seen what happens when natural disasters occur. I've seen what happens when people are wholly dependent on the federal government or the state government or alphabet soup agencies, and nothing happens. And I grew up poor on a farm, and I knew what it was like to have no money and to be looking at the last month's worth of food on the pantry shelf, knowing there's 2 months till you can harvest again. And wondering, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's the next right thing to do? So, I didn't ever want to be in that position. So that's how I got into preparedness. And, once you have kids, I don't know how you have children and not prepare for their future in all ways. Not just saving for college, not that I want my kids to go to college, but not just, saving toward their future and educating them properly, but don't tell boy kid, but within the next 90 days, I'll be buying a pistol and a rifle for boy kid. He'll be 10 in June. Not for him to use right now, but because I don't know if in 8 years I'll be able to buy him one then, or he'll be able to buy him one. I'm assembling his kit now, his armor now. I don't ever want him to have to use it, but it will be there if he needs it. Because I will not be put in a situation where my kid can't defend himself from all the evil that's out here because of some BS government mandate. I'm bird walking again. How do you build a tribe? I'm tempted to say build you and your tribe will show up. We've talked about the macro, micro. In the micro, you need to just get to the best place possible for you. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, for you, your best place. We're all individuals, right? And so the micro respects the individual, your individual traits. Like I said, if you're a second degree black belt in tactical sock knitting, awesome. I'm gonna need that. If animal husbandry is your jam, we're gonna need that. Veterinarian, cool. Stay at home mom, awesome. Because the world needs that. It's a community, right? You're building a community. Everybody has their individual giftings, their talents, their delights, right? Your delights are your things that God put in you from jump, that when you do them, they're just natural. They make you happy and you rock at it. Like, that's your jam. That's your delight. The thing that makes you come alive when you do it. Everybody has something different. So in the micro, we respect the crap out of the individual. And we're wildly individualistic. In the macro, it ain't about you, brother. And it's not about me either. It's about the tribe. Because if we made this whole thing all about me, it wouldn't last. And if we made this whole thing all about you, it wouldn't last. Continuity of community is a phrase that I've coined on this channel. I have some videos, so you go back and you can watch some of my thoughts on that. But you gotta have the community. You gotta build the community. And if you can't build one and you can't find one, I don't know what to tell you. The fact of the matter is, most of us are already part of groups. It's just that those groups aren't about the things that we want them to be about. That would be an overstatement, but a good 80% of the people that are in my MAG, mutual assistance group, are from a church I used to attend. Now, that church doesn't exist anymore, and that's another story for another time when those wounds aren't so fresh. But suffice it to say, men's egos will ruin things. So I would caution you against that. And I would also caution you against, if you ever go to a church where you spend 3 minutes reading the words out of the Bible and 57 minutes listening to your preacher talk about those words out of the Bible, and you know more about what your preacher says about the Bible than you know about the Bible, that's not church, brother. That's make-believe. You need to find a different church. And here I go bird walking again. We did. And then that church imploded. I felt convicted to go back to that church after 6 months of not being there. The day we went back was the day the announcement was made. And it was the saddest thing that you could see a couple hundred people that all loved each other and cared for each other deeply start splitting into factions instantly. It was disgusting, and I was ashamed to see it. But 80% of the people in our MAG are from church, of one accord, right? So you're already in groups. Maybe you can steer those groups in the direction of survival and preparedness. And like I said about the whole OPSEC bro, yeah, you don't want to give away the keys to the kingdom. In fact, Pastor Joe on his Patreon channel a year and a half ago, I had sent him an email about kind of situation we were having in the mag, and he ended up doing a video on it on his Patreon channel, and it helped quite a bit. But yeah, you don't want to give away the keys to the kingdom, but you can bring people into your circle, into your sphere of influence. They don't need to be, all the way out here. They don't need to be all the way in here, but maybe you bring them here, right? You pull back the curtain a little bit and say, hey, this is what I got going on. I'd love it if you could work with me on this and I could work with you on that. There's another rabbit over there. That's 3 rabbits this morning in the last 20 minutes. It'd be a great hunting morning. So you're already in groups. Man, 27 minutes and I've just done nothing but babble. I don't even know if I'll post this. If you can't find a group, make a group. If you can't make a group, maybe you're not the person to make the group. Maybe you know somebody who's more charismatic, more stoic, more centered, more grounded, more whatever it is that you think you're lacking. Maybe you're a great number 2, which there's no shame in. Maybe you're just a great second in command. But what you need is that leader. Find them, nominate them, make something happen, right? But nothing worth doing is easy. And if you don't apply hard work and dedication to any situation, it's not going to pan out for you. So it's not just going to happen. This didn't just happen. I mean, this piece of land I'm standing on didn't just happen. This channel that you're watching right now didn't just happen. I was doing this for a while before I caught people's attention. I remember when I had seven subscribers. And I knew each one of them, at least their YouTube names, right? Not that I have a ton now, but there's 1,300 of you now. And that's in huge part thanks to Pastor Joe. But, that didn't just happen. Nothing just happens. I don't know all the things that I know because they just happened. I had to go out and experience it. I've built businesses, spent, a large portion of my life building businesses. They don't just happen. You have to make things happen. So if you can't find one to join, start one. And if you're not the guy to start it or the girl to start it, pony up with somebody. Hitch your wagon to somebody else. Strength in numbers, that's why you need a tribe, right? So find somebody else. Form a loose coalition. Maybe you have a preparedness Bible study where Sunday afternoons y'all get together and you read the word for 30 minutes. Then you talk about, for 30 minutes, preparedness. Don't get too legalistic either as far as preparedness. It scares people. It's been my opinion, my experience. And it bums people out. Everybody knows that they should be preparing. But if you can't put an action plan in place, show them how to do that, it scares people. Because then they just feel inadequate to meet the challenge, right? That's why we're here, right? So that I can help you all guys get more adequate. God, that's a scary thought. I've talked to you guys for a half an hour about nothing. I'm trying to put bullet points in here, but my brain's not there. It's just not there this morning. I'm going to go back and rewatch this and decide whether or not to even post it. You need a team. form one or join one. If you're having trouble with those two things, you're already part of a team somewhere. Steer that team towards preparedness. Y'all need to be of one accord. You need to be in agreement on the big things in life. You can argue the little things later, but you can't have division in the camp. Also realize where you stand and what your delights are. If you're a great number two, be the best damn number two you can be. If you're an awesome, XO, executive officer, do it, right? Not everybody needs to be the captain, right? Sometimes the first mate is just where you're supposed to be, and that's cool. Embrace it, right? And if you're not first mate, I said in the video yesterday, I think, the world needs strong backs. If you're just a young man or a young woman just trying to get going in life and you're not really sure where you fit in, just show up. 90% of life is just showing up and being available. That's 90% of success. So just be there, right? So figure out where on the hierarchy you fall in and get there and be there. The rest of it, just be better today than you were yesterday. Make a plan to be better tomorrow than you are today. It's just action. Just get started. It's so much easier if you're already moving. It's so much easier to move and change direction than it is to move, stop. I want to go here. Okay. Oh, stop. No, I actually want to go over here. Oh, stop. No, we really need to go. Just use that momentum, right? Just get started. Once you're moving, you can change direction. And don't suffer from paralysis by analysis either. Do your homework, make a decision, act. Some of y'all have contacted me about coming here, and we're thinking on it. It's the only way I can put it, is we're thinking on it, and we're praying about it, and what will be will be. I can make no guarantees. So I told my boy kid yesterday, he was up our butts about something. I said, look, as of right now, just consider it a no. And if it turns into a yes, count that a blessing. And it's coarse and callous, but true. So when, I don't know, you need a team, and you need a team now before the world goes away. Y'all know this. That's why you're here. So build your team. Just build your team. If you're not the leader, find one. But be okay with being a number 2. Or a number 3 or a number 7. Gary Vaynerchuk at VaynerMedia is fond of saying the number 15 at Facebook made more with Facebook's IPO than the number 1 at some mom and pop business did that same year. There's a point to that. Maybe it's better to be number 15 at a strong organization than number 1 at a weak one. So there's zero informational density in this video and very few actual nuggets of information. So maybe I'll shoot a follow-up to this. We'll see. But my mind and my heart and my spirit are not on bullet points this morning. So it's hard to be bullet pointed when you're surrounded by this. And I can hear my little girl over that way yelling at the baby chicks, and the birds are tweeting, and bunnies are hopping through the hedgerows, and the sun is coming up and just kissing the ground. hard to get into PowerPoint mode surrounded by this blessing. So I'm gonna go be blessed. I'll talk with y'all later. Bye.